Well, the Auburn Tigers have went out and hired their new head coach in Hugh Freeze. And since he's been hired, he has made some coaching changes, and we need to talk about it. But if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And by doing so, it greatly helps out my channel and it helps me grow as a content creator. Well, Hugh Freeze went out and got his new OC and defensive coordinator, and he got Philip Montgomery as his offensive coordinator, and he got Ron Roberts as his defensive coordinator. And these are some intriguing hires, guys. And I'm gonna just read off, little stats on these guys. Philip Montgomery was the head coach at Tulsa, and while he was there, he turned that program around, guys. Philip Montgomery is a 20-year coaching veteran at the collegiate level. He's been everywhere, and coached up some good award-winning quarterbacks, including Big 12 Player of the Year, Bryce Petty. He helped a Heisman win. Actually has a Heisman winner that he coached up, and that's Robert Griffin III. We remember him while he was at Baylor. Baylor All-American Nick Florence, Conference USA MVP Kevin Cole, and Houston standout Case Keenum. So he has a history of developing quarterbacks, guys, and like I said, helping Robert Griffin III to win a Heisman. So that goes to show you how good he is as an offensive developer at the quarterback position. So, he coached at Tulsa for 8 seasons, and while he was there, he led them to 4 bowl games, including a 10-3 record in 2016, and back-to-back bowl appearances in 2020 and in 2021. And during his tenure, he coached 44 all-conference performers and 3 All-Americans. So really, really good coach. Auburn is picking up. It's going to be interesting to see what he does in the SEC. And he's going to be tasked with coaching up Robbie Ashford, a guy that started last season. I think he was a freshman last season, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't really look good, passing the ball downfield. Very, very lethal with his legs. And I expect him to take a huge leap, guys, not only just because of Philip Montgomery, but also because of Hugh Freeze. Wherever Hugh Freeze went, his quarterback play was really, really good. And dare I say that his quarterbacks were kind of outperforming Auburn's quarterbacks in the SEC. So wherever he touches, he greatly helps, the quarterback position. And I expect between Hugh Freeze and Philip Montgomery, I expect them to really, really coach up Robbie Ashford and whoever else they have on their staff at the quarterback position, on the team, I'm sorry. But I expect Robert Ashford to take a huge step forward this upcoming season. But he's done a phenomenal job, guys. In 2016, that was really the team that really took a huge step forward. They finished that season 10-3, and they finished second place in the American Athletic Conference West Division. And they claimed a 55-10 victory over Central Michigan in 2016 in the Miami Beach Bowl. So really, really good team, that 2016 Tulsa squad. They finished the season 4th nationally in total offense with 527, 7th in scoring with 42.5, 8th in rushing with 261.7, and 30th in the country in passing with 265.3. So great offensive-minded guy. Came in, turned that program around, and he was able to produce a 3,000-yard passer in Dan Evans, 2 1,000-yard rushers in James Flanders and D'Angelo Brewer, and 2,000-yard receivers in Kevin Lucas and Josh Atkinson. So greatly needed at Auburn. Their offense was just last couple of seasons just pretty much non-existent. They had a pretty good game against us. Our defense was just horrible. And we had since, got rid of Pete Golden, who's now at Ole Miss. But nevertheless, Robbie Ashford and the Auburn rushing attack just was able to run over us. And they for the most part, was able to run on a lot of people for the most part. They came short against certain teams like Georgia and everything. But Auburn was a team last season, you just never knew what you was going to get from them. But they had a couple of good games, but overall they needed to make changes, and they're making the change with Philip Montgomery offensively. Now, defensively, they're bringing in Ron Roberts. This is a guy coming from Baylor that's defensive coordinator under Dave Aranda. Dave Aranda, great defensive-minded guy. And what's crazy, while Ron Roberts was at Delta State, Dave Aranda was learning under him. So Dave Aranda comes from his coaching tree. And what's interesting is that, he was defensive coordinator for Dave Aranda at Baylor. So that just goes to show you. But Ron Roberts has a long coaching tree as well, including, like I was saying, Pete Golden. Pete Golden is from his coaching tree. So he has a long he's been in college football a long time as well. Like I said, Pete Golden is part of his coaching tree. Cincinnati defensive coordinator Brian Brown, defensive coordinator Patrick Toney that just left, and like I said, Baylor's head coach Dave Aranda. So he has, he's been around, just like how Nick Saban's been around and got guys that learned under him. So in my opinion, this is a good hire for Auburn. Auburn defensively was just atrocious last season, and this is a guy that he harps on havoc rate. That's a statistic that evaluates how disruptive a defense is and stuff like that, and that's one of the things that he's already preaching, that he likes to stay in that 20% category as far as havoc rate. So he's going to have some work to do with the Auburn defense because they're losing some guys, and he's going to have to make up for it. But Auburn struggled to create negative plays at times last season, finishing 78th in country in sacks with 26 and 101st in tackles for loss with 62. And the Auburn Tigers, they're losing some guys, but while Ron Roberts was at Baylor, he did a pretty good job. And he's going to be tasked with, bringing this Auburn defense up. But his defenses were very, very aggressive. And his most successful of the 3 seasons that he was at Baylor was in 2021 when the Baylor Bears had a top 10 scoring defense and posted one of the nation's top havoc rates at 27%. So he's going to be tasked with that, During that campaign in 2021, Baylor was limiting their opponents to 18.3 points per game. And we all know the Big 12 has high-power offenses, so that's pretty good, stopping the offenses in the Big 12. And you can basically say Baylor defense is what, helped them in that year, due to their defensive performance. Baylor was really, really good. They were 5th in the country in sacks with 44, 7th in tackles for loss with 104, 3rd in interceptions with 19, and 28th in pass breakups with 48, and 7th in takeaways with 27. So Baylor's defense was very, very disruptive. And just imagine, him having the talent that he'll have at Auburn. I'm not saying, Auburn has better talent, but Auburn pretty much has, really, really good players. It's going to be interesting to see what he does with the not Baylor, but the Auburn Tigers defense, And he has a lot of work to do. Like I said, I think Auburn's pass defense wasn't as bad. It was just really, they can really stop the run. But just overall, their defense wasn't really good. But getting Ron Roberts and Philip Montgomery on the offensive side, look out for Auburn, guys. Auburn could be a team to be reckoned with this season. But what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. And once again, if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.